Okay. So when you say Power BI, I hope you are all hearing Power BI, Power BI, Power BI. Power BI is one of the widely used data visualization tool. Right. So we have a lot of data visualization tool. Can talk about even Excel is a visual. People use Excel for visualization. So I say Excel is also a visualization tool. Yeah, somehow yes. We have a Tableau, which is a data visualization product or a data visualization tool. We have Power BI. We have Google Data Studio. We have a lot. I mean, different type of data visualization tool. Even Python can talk about Python. Can talk about R, MATLAB, and all those things are data visualization. Can use for data visualization. Yes, but here, as I said, uh, Power BI is straightforward, very easy to use. Yes, in our part of the world, the Power BI is the one, the product which is leading. Yeah, good. Now, and this Power BI is developed by Microsoft. Right. When you take the Power BI, we have three components of the Power BI. We have the Power BI desktop, which is this one, and the Power BI desktop is free to use. We also have the Power BI service, which is the software as a service. And the purpose of the Power BI service is to help organizations to collaborate on a project. So it somehow works. It's the idea is like a Google Workspace, whereby more than you and your colleagues can work on a specific project. Right. The same thing with the Power BI service. Right. So we have a product, a project you are doing, you and your colleagues can collaborate and then work on it. Then we also have the Power BI mobile or the Power BI app. That one, we have it on Android and iOS. And then the purpose of this Power BI app is to help you view your dashboard. So let's say someone has shared a report with you and you wanted to view it, but you don't have your machine with you, your laptop with you, you can use the Power BI app to also view the dashboard or the report. Right, good. And then this is the Power BI desktop. I mean, okay. Now, as I said, the Power BI itself is a data visualization tool. Now, what is data visualization? When you say data visualization, it's all about graphical representation of data, representing data in a graphical form, right? Say graphical form using the charts, the pie chart, the donut chart, and all those things. Yeah, that's it. You are representing the raw data in the visual form. Good. Now, when you take the data visualization to, we have three components under it. We have the designing part, we have the analysis part, and then we have the storytelling. So we have three. Now, the designing part is it's all about your dashboard. How you design your dashboard, you mix with colors so that it becomes very nice and I mean also straightforward. Yeah. So the dashboard, when you say dashboard, to dashboard is all bringing the chart, all the various type of charts into one place, or the KPIs into one place. That's the dashboard. So here is where we'll be building our dashboard. So here we can bring the funnel chart, the donut chart, all into one place here. So that's the dashboard. We're talking about the dashboard. The idea of the dashboard is like the car dashboard. See that the car dashboard, we have so many things on the car dashboard where you can just click and then the car will function. Okay, so that's the purpose of the dashboard. That's what I'm talking about. So here we have Yeah, that's the designing part of data visualization. And we also have the analysis. The analysis, right? So that analysis is you finding the trends and then the insights from the data, right? Yes, that's the analysis part of the data visualization. So here, the trends and all those things, the insights, the information, or the type of question you are trying to answer. That's the you analyze the whole thing. Good. And then we have the storytelling. So the storytelling part is, I mean, how you can communicate or you can sell your information to your stakeholders, right? Yes. So when you take the one of the key skills in data analytics is communication. How you can, I mean, explain your project or your report to people, to your stakeholders, right? Some people are not, I mean, technically inclined. So here, what I have to do is that sometimes you have to break the technical terms into layman terms for them to understand, right? So that's the storytelling part of the data visualization. Okay, now here we are coming to use Microsoft Power BI for the data visualization. And as I said, it's very easy, straightforward to use. Good. Okay, so let's start something. Yeah. So this I already explained. So this is our report view. The purpose this report view is where you build your reports, all your reports, your KPIs, everything will be here, right, for the presentation. Or this is where you build your dashboard and everything here. Then you go to the table view. The table view part is your tables. I mean, the data we have in the tables, all the tables will be appear here, all the values will appear here for you to see. If you wanted to delete or maybe do some kind of adjustment or modification or transformation, you can do it with it. Then we have the model view. So the model view part is where you build your relationship between tables, right? So here the part this model view help you in terms of working with more than one table. So you have two or three or 10 tables, you can work with them at a go. Then we have as for this one, it's a full, I mean, topic on it too. So I'll take my time to explain the model view very well for you to understand. To be able to understand the data modeling, I mean, we are we are 50% or 60% ahead of everyone. Yeah. Then we have the DAX query view. The DAX query view is, as I said, is the DAX query itself is like if you are familiar with SQL, that's structured query language. If you are familiar with it, that's how the DAX query is. Now, this DAX query is specifically for data query and data manipulation. Right? Used to query the data from the table the way you want it, right? And this DAX query also need, I mean, it's a full topic on its own. Yeah, but you try and then go through this DAX query. I mean, do one or two how for you to understand how DAX query works. Yes. Okay. Well, here we have our visualization. So this visualization is these are the default visualization in Power BI. So they have group it. We have the stack, we have the line parts, and all those things. And here, Power BI can be used to build any dynamic report or dashboard you wanted to build. Now, people use, or me myself, I use Excel to to build a dashboard. But if you want to do more advanced and dynamic dashboard, you use what Excel, sorry, Power BI to do that. Right now, Power BI also give you the flexibility for you to work with your visualization or your visuals. Let me put it that way, because Power BI has R programming, and then have two languages in it. Programming language, we have the R and then the Python in it. All right, good. So let's assume that we are doing something which is more dynamic, and that kind of thing is that functionalities is not in the Power BI. You can use the, if you know how to use Python, you can use Python to do that, or if you know how to use R, you can also use R to do that, right? Remember that the GUI, the graphical user interface, something like Power BI here is limited, right? Every GUI is limited. That's why here they have given you programming language. Programming language is not limited. You can write the code the way you want it to be, right? If you know how to do it, right? Good. So here the Power BI is not limited with the help of the R and then the Python programming. Good. Now, if I click on these three dots and I go to more visuals to see, Power BI also has an external visuals in it where you can use. So if let's say the visuals we are working with is not here, we can go to here to go use this one to also get it. So we have something like a word cloud. Word cloud is not here, right? Word cloud is not in the, is not in the default visuals, but if you search the word cloud here, word cloud, yeah, we have the word cloud. You can add the word cloud here to do your visualization, right? I think I have examples on this word cloud, right? Whereby if you wanted to analyze text, that's for specifically for sentiments, right? You use the word cloud to do that. I will do one or two examples with this one. Okay. So all these things are the visuals. So all these are different types of visuals in Power BI. Power BI has a lot of visuals in it. Okay. Good. Now, for the purpose of our first time, we have uh, a default data set in it. Power BI has a default data set in it that you can use for practice. Right. So here, for now, we will stick to this data set. We use this data set to learn the interface, how to do grouping and bins, the visualization, creating all those hierarchy and all those things, right? And you even use it to write one or two DAX functions so that you get the idea on or the interface of the Power BI itself, right? Before you move on to the next step, whereby you'll be using a real world data set and then try to answer a real question, right? Good. That's the what you'll be using, right? And then while the class is going on, if you have any question, you just can unmute yourself or can raise your hand for me to draw my attention. Mostly, sometimes my focus will be on the teaching, and then someone will raise his hand or her hand, and I won't see. And then also, if you have any difficulty, I'll also be asking you to share your screen so that I will assist you. Yeah, maybe you have any difficulty, and I will let you to share your screen, and then I will assist you. So, uh, for you not to or me not to breach your privacy, I'll please advise you to maybe minimize your tabs or even close all your tabs. I mean your secret stuff, your personal stuff on your machine. So that anytime I'll ask you to share your screen, it won't be like you are sharing your personal information with us, right? It has happened. It has happened during one of my virtual class. So someone shared some amazing stuff whilst class is going on. So yeah, you have to take notes on that. Right. Okay. Okay. So here, let's use this default data set. Now, we have probably have so many data source. When you say data source is where the data is coming from. Where the data is coming from. So here, uh, you can go to get data and you see all this stuff is the data source, right? Can even give you the blank query for you to even type your own data. All this you can go to more to get more data, to see more data. So all these things are data sources. It's over 70, right? Yes, all data sources. So learn we try to learn using most of it, especially the CSV and then the Excel and from the web. These are the most common ones you'll be using. Yes. Okay. These are the most common ones. Yeah, the different stuff. Yeah. These are the most common one you'll be using. I'm coming. Okay. So as I was saying, we have so many data sources here, so we can use them. Yeah. Okay. Now, as I said, Power BI has a default data set in it. So that I hope we are close to our machines. I would like you to practice alongside whilst I'm doing it. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Yeah. I'm asking, are you close to your machine? Your laptop, yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm
Okay.
close to it.
So yeah, I would like you to practice alongside with it so that yeah. Okay. So here, let's go to use sample data. Good. And we have these two ways of using sample data, right? Now we have the launch tutorial. Now this launch tutorial will take you to the Power BI website documentation here to give you the whole documentation on Power BI, right? Consisting the DAX functions and a whole lot of stuff about Power BI. Then the load sample data is the actual data set where the data set is sitting. So right, so you click on the sample data here. Let's wait for it to connect. Yeah, and then here we have these two default data sets, right? So we can click on it, financials, to give us a preview, right? A preview. So here, this is the preview of the data we have. If the data is okay or the data is okay for you. or is the one we are looking for. Then we select it. So let's go to the second one too. We have financials and sheet one. This one too is the same data, right? Yes. But here, let's select this financials, and here we have load and transform. Now, the differences between this load and transform, the transform will take you to the Power Query editor. The Power Query editor. Now, the purpose of this Power Query editor is specifically for data transformation, and data cleaning. That's the purpose of this Power Query editor. Right, that's the purpose of the Power Query editor. We talk about the Power Query editor separate, right? Yes, but for now, let's see how the interface is. So here, now if you click on the load will load the whole data straight into your page or into your Power BI, right? Good. So let's click on transform data just to show you how the interface. We talk about it later. So this is the Power Query editor. This is the Power Query editor. So here is where you'll be doing your data transformation, your cleaning, and all those. And uh, here too, there's a language they use here, or we use here, which is the M language. Yes, M language. Yes, that's the language they use in the Power Query editor. Maybe if you have time, we talk about this M language. Yes. Okay. So after you have transformed your data, do your merging, splitting, changing the data type and everything, you go to close and apply. So this close and apply will take you to the Power BI. Right. Good. So let's assume that we have transformed our data. Right. Good. So here it will load into your into your Power BI. Let's wait for it to load. Good. Now you see that 700 rows loaded. So let's good. Now we have our financial table here. We have it here. So let me expand it to see the data. Good. So all these things are the field or the columns. Now if I go to the table view, click on the table view will give me the values or the records in the table. So these are the records we have in the table. Right, can expand this one to also see oh, expand it to see the financials. Right. So these are the field. So if I select this is sales, see that it will highlight it here. If I select country, it will highlight it here. Now let me show you one thing here. Now data type is very important. Data type is very important. Then what is data type? Data type is the type of data the column contains. Away the column contains. So if you take this country column, you can see that here this it contains text. When you look at the data type here at the top here, this one give you, let's say, some information about this particular column. You have the column name, you have the data type text, right? Good, meaning that this particular column contains data. Now, if I select, let's say, manufacturing price, see that manufacturing price contains what whole number. Okay. Now, anytime we see this sign or this icon, Sigma, this one tells you that that particular field or that particular column contains a whole number or a number, not a whole number, but a number, right? So here, this is also a Sigma sign contains a whole number, oh sorry, a number, and we have a country. So the country doesn't have any icon. That tells you that it's a categorical variable or it contains text. Okay, contains text. Then we have dates here. See that dates, we have the icon here. Now this data is a default data set, right? So it is already clean, and then it's very easy for Power BI to detect the data type. Some of the data, if you're importing it, it will come in the right data types. But some of them too, it won't come like that. We have some stubborn data. We have to take your time and work with before you can analyze it, right? Yes. So sometimes we having those stubborn data. That's where we be checking, and all these things have to be checked in the Power Query editor, right? And make sure that it's transform and work with before you take it to the you take it here. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? I mean, am I going fast or am I slow? If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay. So no questions. Let's continue. Okay. So that's what you have to, by the way. Okay, now let's go to the model view. See that the model view, we have only one table here. Yes, we have only this the financial. So this is the only one table we have here. Now, let's assume that we have about 3 or 4 tables. All the tables will appear here for us to create our relationship between the tables or do our mapping, right? Mapping with the tables. Okay. Now let's go to the report view and then create our first visual. All right, good. So yeah, let's take this star column chart. Okay, this is the star column chart. And one thing is that before I can even start, building your dashboard, one thing you have to take note that you have to understand the data, right? You have to understand the data, make sure that you have studied the data very well before you start. So if I go to the data, the table view, here I have to the you know all the columns you are working with. So when you take the segment column, the segment columns contains different sectors. Like we have the channel partners, we have enterprise, we have government, and then we have some mid-market and small business, right? So that's the values in the segment column, and then or the segment field. And go to the country field too. We have uh, Canada, we have France, we have Mexico, and we have United States of America. These are the countries in the country column. Then go to the product too. The product too has different products. And then the same thing applies to the discounts band. To also have low, high, medium, and none, right? Good. And then we have the unit sold, the manufacturer price, the sales price, the gross sales discount, uh, sales, GCOS, profit, dates, and so on, right? We have also the number, the month number, the month name, and then the year, right? These are the columns we have, right? Good. And these columns we can work with. Now let's go to the report view, and then let's say that we wanted to know each country and their profits, right? So you take the country to X axis. So here you drag it, click, then you drag, or you can check it, select it, and then it automatically comes here. So let's say, let me close it, or you can just click and then you drag it here. Good. And then the profit is here. You click, then you drag, right? Now, let's understand this. We have y axis and x axis. We have the x axis is the independence variable, or is it always independent? The y depends on the x, right? So here we want the country here, our country become independent variable, and then the profit become dependent variable, right? Because we wanted to know each country and their profit and its profit, right? Good. So the profit depends on the country. That's why you put the country at the x-axis and then the profit at the y-axis. Okay. So you see that is Power BI is very straightforward. As soon as you just drag it and drop it, to automatically give you the what? Give you the chart. Right. So this is the stack column chart. Good. We can also let me resize it here. So if you want to resize it, you can just put the cursor here, something like this. Then you'll be dragging it. Good. Sometimes uh because of the dashboard, I mean the size of the charts, be having uh very small how do you call it chart, something like this. But if you click on the focus mode, so put the cursor here, you can see that we have the focus mode. If you click on it, it becomes very big. So in terms of presentation, this is what you will do, right? Yes. And mostly you can export your dashboard into PowerPoint. Yes, PowerPoint. Here you can export the dashboard into PowerPoint. But here you cannot do it in Power BI desktop unless Power BI service. So here I'll show you how we can deploy our report into Power BI service, and then here we export it from Power BI service into your how do you call it, your PowerPoint for your presentation, right? Good. But for here in Power BI desktop, it can only export it to PDF, in a PDF format. So here you can go to File and then you go to Export. Click on Export here. Then we have the PDF. So Power BI template and then the PDF. Here you cannot export it into Power BI, sorry, into the PowerPoint here for presentation. Okay. But you can also present it in the Power BI desktop. Yeah. But that one won't be a professional way. I mean, the PowerPoint will be the best way. Okay. So click on the focus mode to become big. Click on it, go down. And here you can click on this three dots and then you can sort it. You can sort it by profits. Say ascending, so that it has changed, or maybe descending. That's we are sorting it by profit. See the sum of profits, right? or can even sort it by country. So here we are sorting it by country. See that we have selected this country. So this one is ascending. Can click on descending. Sort it on descending. Okay. Okay. Now let's say that you wanted to uh, see the data, or the not the data but the values you use to come out with this particular chart. The values you use to come out with this particular chart, you go to show as table. You click on show as table, and then it will give you in the form of table. Show as table, right? So it give you, these are the values you use to come out with this chart. Okay, good. And then also one thing is that if you wanted to export it, export the values, can click on export data, and then here it will open your file explorer for you. And here, let's say I wanted to save it on my desktop, then the format is CSV format, right? Click on save. Good. And here, if I come to my desktop, I can find it here, right? So if I open it, and then let me see, let's open it. To open it my Excel to see the values. So these are the values, right? So even this house somehow works as a data query, right? Yes, but it's not the right way, but I mean it's a data query, right? Good. We have exported the data into Excel. Okay. Okay. Now let's also let me do. Are you there? Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. It seems that you are watching movie, or you are following the whole thing.
I'm following the whole thing.
You are following. Okay. Okay.
It's
Sure.
just yeah, but it's just the data that I don't have.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. The data we have it. It's a default data set. Yeah. Okay. It's a default data set. So let me do this. It's a default data set. Maybe you have skipped that part. That part. Okay, but you take your time and then go through the video again. You see how I imported the data. Right. The data is a default data set in the Power BI. So I didn't get it from anywhere. I get it. It's in the Power BI. All right. Okay. Okay. So maybe when you watch the video from the beginning, you find out what I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here, let's also come out with our another chart. So we have, let's use let's say line chart. Good. Now, if you are selecting another chart, if you are selecting another chart, we have to deselect the chart. We have the first chart, something like this. See that here, I want to come out with another chart. If I selected this chart and click on the visuals here, it will change it. If I click here, it will change it. Right. Good. Meanwhile, maybe I want, let's say, pie chart. If you click on it, see that it has changed to pie chart. Okay, because of what I have selected it. Now here, anytime you want a new chart, what you have to do is that you click on you have to deselect this chart. So you click on the empty space here. Then before you can click on any chart, let's say line chart. so that the blueprint is here. Okay, so that's how we selected the chart. So this line chart, I'll let's say drag the dates, and then the line chart is you have to one thing you have to also take note is that we have to know each chart and its meaning and when to use it. Line chart is specifically for time series. So it can talk about months, dates, hours, year, or weeks, or whatever. Right. Good. So here we want each month and sales. So I'll close the rest of the. I'll talk about this one, yeah, in the upcoming sections. Yeah, the dates, each month and profits. So here I'll drag it and drop it here. See that here automatically we have the line chart here. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, today is our first time. I mean, I've talked a lot. Uh, if there is no other questions, uh, I would like her to pause here and then I will share the video with you. Maybe the video will be ready tomorrow morning. I'll share the video with you so that you can go through the small thing we have done. Okay, so that Friday we'll continue from here. Right, Friday continue from here. Friday we'll be using the whole 3 hours. Right on Friday. Right. So today is just an intro how the Power BI works and all those things. I've talked a lot. Right. So Friday we'll be doing the whole 3 hours. Yeah. Great. Any question? Okay. Okay. Sure. 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 Okay. So let's end here and then let's meet on Friday. Okay. So have a good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay. 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 Ask. Ask. Ask.
So like if we are being given the data, right? You see this
Okay.
one, the first one that we did, we used the
The
countries
default.
against the default data we used. We
Yeah.
used the country against the profit. Then secondly, we used the month against the profit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
When we are being given the data, it's like it comes with what we want to achieve at the end of the data, or it's just that we would have to just be sorting out things on our own that okay, this thing have to go against this thing, this have to go
Okay.
against.
I get it. I get it. You have to ask a very nice question. Now, most in the real world, sometimes the data comes with a question. Now, even before the data will come, when you take the data analytics process, right? Yes, we have to know the questions and the defines before we start collecting your data, right? Good. So here the questions will help you to know the type of data you go in for. So in the real world, they'll give you the questions, or they'll give you the questions, or that's the metrics and then the data. So we use the questions, use the data to answer the questions. Okay, good. That's one part. I mean, most of the projects I've been doing, I mean, they give me they must use the data to do this. So I use the data and then I'll use the data to answer the questions. That's one. Another aspect is that the data can be given to you straightforward. The data can be given to you. Oh, this is the data. I mean, find something in the data. That one too is there, right? So you have to look at the data, try to come out with, I mean, some information from the data or some insight from the data.
Okay, I understand now. I get
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Okay. So it's two. You may get the data with the questions, or you get only the data for you to work with it. Are you okay? Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Okay, fine. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So if there is no questions, as I said, let's end here and then continue. So as I said, the video will be ready tomorrow morning. Yeah, then I'll share with you. Okay. So have a good evening.